50 states, 13.1 miles, one flag. Sounds good, doesn't it? What does it take to put purpose in your run? Stick around and find out on the next Shero Coffee Chat.
Air assault. Hello, friends, and welcome to Shero Coffee Chat. We hope you've had a great week, and thank you for joining us today. We've got a full cup ahead, so grab your Shero coffee, because we're taking a spin around the Shero resource table. Plus, we've got your chat, tip, and guest of the week. Let's give a big shout out to our host, Melissa Farmer Hill, Army combat veteran, host of Shero Coffee Chat, and founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. And now, reporting for duty and ready to lead the conversation, Melissa Farmer Hill.
Air assault! Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat. Yes, as you can see, the background looks different, and that is because I am in Conyers, Georgia. Have you ever been to Conyers, Georgia? I will tell you, right now, I am staying at the Spring Hill Suite Marriott, and shout out to their staff. I just wanted to give them a shout out. They have excellent service. So check them out if you're ever in Conyers, Georgia. Georgia. But right now, I want to tell you a little bit about Shero Coffee Chat. What do we do here? We bring remarkable, and I do mean remarkable people to the table for conversations that leave you informed, inspired, and more connected, because it's all about connections right here on the Shero Coffee Chat. So today we are honored to welcome Mr. Jake Droge. I hope I say it right. He's not offended by it, but I guess Droge. He'll tell us when he comes on. We want to welcome Jake back to the Shero Coffee Chat. Jake first joined us about 10 months ago, and we are really excited to have him back. We're going to catch up with him and hear more today about the mission behind the Flagman. Now, Jake is South Dakota's first certified reverse mortgage professional. He partners with financial advisors, loan officers, attorneys, and realtors across the country, not just in South Dakota, but across the country, to educate and serve clients with integrity and care. He is, just like me, a proud Army veteran and a member of the American Legion, and is deeply committed to supporting veterans and their families. Now, he is known as the Flagman. Yes, known as Flagman. Jake is on a personal mission to run a half marathon in all 50 states while carrying an American flag. Poor air assault. It doesn't get any better than that, you guys. Millions of Americans have crossed a half marathon finish line. Millions, not me. I do plan to be one day. But Jake's mission is a reminder to us all to never take the freedoms we enjoy for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I bring to you Mr. Jake Droge. First things first, Jake, let's get that last name together.
It's Droge. But like I said, I've been called a lot worse, so I don't care.
It's Droge, you guys. It's Jake Droge. Welcome back. Thank you for being a part of the Shero Coffee Chat today. We are so glad to have you back. And I want to begin with the first question. Wow. And when I, like in the intro, 50 states, 13.1 miles with one flag. How did you become known as the Flagman?
My first race in Crofton, Nebraska, which they're having their event today, but I'm at the VFW conference in Reno, so I'm not running it as a training. There was a gentleman that was on a quest to do one in all 50 states too, from your great state of Illinois, Patrick. And we just kind of met there. And the next race I saw him at was actually in Iowa, small little race, and he couldn't remember my name. So he yells across the parking lot, Flagman. And then other people started calling me Flagman. I'm like, you know what? Just embrace it. So that's really very, very simple. Guy forgot my name. It's pretty humbling.
That is so cool. That's a great story. Now, half marathons are a challenge in and of themselves. But what inspired you to say, hey, I am going to set a personal goal to do this in all 50 states?
It started really very after COVID. My kids' events had slowed down a little bit. So I decided, well, I'm going to get back in shape. And being Army, go out and do a 2-mile run. And I live out in the country. And I thought, well, I'll just go out and run on the gravel road, get 2 miles in, and start my journey of getting back in shape. Quarter mile in, I literally thought I was having a heart attack. My heart was pounding, couldn't breathe, just realized I had let myself really get out of shape. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have to have a purpose, something that's going to drive me, because I'm never going to be in this shape again. So that's when I decided, you know what? I've always liked to run. I didn't like running at 4:30 in the morning in the Army, but I like to run. So that's kind of where it started. I was like, you know what? I want to see all 50 states, and I'm going to do half marathons. I'm going to carry a small American flag because it allows me, the flag represents freedom to me. And I have my health once I got in shape, that I have the ability to go out and do a half marathon. I'm not going to ever win a race. I'm not fast, but it all starts with a step. And I just do one step in front of the other and get to the finish line.
You know what? I think that's a good point you made, because so many of us, in our life transitioning out of the military, we, especially transitioning out of the military, we tend to, some of the disciplines that we had in the military, especially when it comes to working out and physical training, some of us tend to lose that. So I'm really glad you talked about purpose. And one of the things is that you like to run. So how would you encourage someone that's been out of the military, haven't exercised or did any type of physical training, or anyone for that matter, in about 6 months? What was the thing that really kind of pushed you? How would you encourage them?
Well, for me, I was so out of shape. And I think part of it is the mental part. For me was like, gosh, how did I let myself get here? Mm-hmm. And I'm a numbers guy. So I'm trying to compare my run times, or my, even my training times, to what I ran when I was much younger, 20 years younger, when I was in better shape. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that. Your journey is your own journey. You can't compare yourself to others. When I'm running against myself. Yeah, I want to pass that person in front of me if I can at the finish line. But it's at the end of the day, it's my journey. So I think if you're going to go into training, if you're going to get off that couch, don't expect to go do 2 miles today. Don't expect to run 2 miles. Maybe walk the first week and build up and go back. I'm no trainer by any means, but I think start slow and build little increments that you can see success, because it can be very demoralizing. Your muscles hurt. The thing between our ears, our brain, can be our biggest weakness at times. But if we can use it where we can have little increments, I think our mind sees that, yes, we're making progress. Mm-hmm. Our bodies can do so much more than our mind. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. When I want to quit, I just remember it's just another step. And when I don't want to go out for a training run, I remember how hard it hurts on event day if I don't train. And I think that's just in life. Whatever our journey is, it doesn't need to be running. If you don't prepare and put the training in the day of your event or your outcome or whatever it is, it's not going to be as well. And you're not going to enjoy it as much afterwards. The satisfaction isn't going to be there.
hmm I totally agree with you, and I agree with you with like you said, do something you like, and then just one step at a time, one step at a time. So yes, thank you for that advice. So the next question is, what do you remember the moment that you realized that the goal was to cross all 50 states and carry that flag? Do you know what that pivotal moment was?
When I didn't, there's a couple actually. The
hmm
very first one is when I was doing training runs and I did an 8 mile one. I got back and I was like, I did not stop during that 8 miles. Now I took a drink of water. I was walking, but
Uh-huh.
I did not stop, like
Right.
physically stop. So that was the moment that I knew, okay, I can get to where I can do the halves, because if I can run 8 on a train run, I can do a half. It might hurt, but I can get there.
Mhm.
My first race, again, I mentioned Crofton, Nebraska earlier. There was a gentleman, I would guess he was close to 80 years old. He had like one of the walkers where he
Mhm.
could sit down. And he must have been there watching a family member, to be my guess. And it was in the last mile. I was coming up to the finish line. I had my little flag. And as I come around the corner, he stands up and he salutes the flag. And that's what I'm like, you know what? This is a gentleman. I'm going to run for those that can't run themselves anymore.
Oh
But
wow.
that doesn't mean that I can't inspire him to say, you know what? He still sees the patriotism of me carrying the flag. It may motivate him to, maybe he needs to do a little more exercise, if he's able to, or whatever the case may be. I'm not fast, but when he saluted the flag, I was like, you know what? If I can motivate one person to do more, then it's worth it.
I think that's a really for me it's a little emotional, but that moment where you saw him standing and saluting you, we have to think about that, because there are people out there who can't, who just wish they had your legs, Jake. They
Yeah.
wish your legs and your energy to do, but for you to dedicate your runs to those who can't, it just speaks volumes to your character, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, so how many marathons have you gone through so far?
I finished state 21 on the 4th of July. It was in Brighton, Michigan.
All
So
right.
it was fun to run on the 250th celebration of the 250th with the flag.
I just like
And
using that little applause.
I love it. I love it. And then that was quite a run, Melissa.
Yeah.
It was a 6:30 a.m. start Eastern time. I'm used to Central time, so 5:30.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't like the 4:30 military runs back in the day, but hey,
Right.
5:30, I knew it was going to be hot. The humidity hit. Um, I was soaked when I got done, but when I got to that finish line, I was like, you know what, this is a good one. This is a good little race there in Brighton, Michigan. It's one that I would probably do again. It was that I had fun.
Oh wow.
But I'm going to your state next. I'm going to be in Rockford, Illinois on the 15th of August. So number 22.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Now tell me this, which one of your races uh or marathons have challenged you the most?
Oh, there's several. I think of the very first one in Crofton, Nebraska, because it was along the foothills of the Missouri River. It was out back. Part of it was gravel. It was great, and to know that I finished it. I did my first trail run, half marathon, in Wisconsin last year. Never had done a trail run for a half. That was a challenging
And
one.
for those who don't know, can you just kind of briefly explain what a trail run is?
A trail run, it literally describe it. If the tree root was there before the path was there, the tree root stays. So you're
Oh,
running on uneven surface,
oh wow.
grass, gravel, dirt, and then there was quite a bit of elevation in there. So you had to go up to, there's a tower that they had, like a lookout tower. So you had to run up that and then back down. And the down was so much loose gravel. Like at one point, had to come around like a little curve. I grabbed the little tree as I went around, so I didn't go off the course, because I wasn't like I was going fast. I was just out of control because of so much loose gravel and stuff. So I'll never
Yeah.
forget that one.
Oh, wow.
This year I did Charlottesville, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and it was quite a bit of elevation, and I probably was not trained to the level that I should have been for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, got the finish, and stuff like that. It wasn't like super fast. It wasn't like my slowest one of the year, of the 21 that I've done. But the next day I went to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Flat, beautiful course. Well, the day before hit me. And as at mile 7, it's the first time in this journey where I was like, I want to quit. I don't want to finish this. Mentally, I was beat.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was way out in the course. I was going to have to walk back to the finish line anyway. I just will finish the thing, and check mark. So I would, when I get done with all 50, if I'm going to go back and do another, that's probably one I'll redo, just because I have that sitting in a bad taste in my mouth from it, that I didn't do what I should have done. So that's one. This year I did Breckenridge in Colorado, and it was really hot. Like, I think the air temp was 86 degrees at the start, and you have the elevation. That one humbled me, Melissa. It's my slowest one since I started this.
Oh, wow.
And it was really slow. But I knew I just had to. I didn't want to be a heat casualty. From our military time, last thing, you got to take care of yourself.
Right.
So at the same point, mentally finishing that one, knowing that I took care of myself, I'm like, you know what? Just remember, you're not racing against anybody else. You're just getting a finish, and take care of your body and your mind first.
Right.
So.
And that leads me to another question. So when you're tired, and thank you for sharing all of the challenges that, anyone can potentially go through when they're running the different types of marathons that you have. So what goes through your mind when you're tired and you still have, miles left?
Yeah. And on race day, or event day, I call it, because for me, it's a finish. I'm not going to win anything. I hate to label it as a race, for me, is probably misleading. It's more of an event, it's a finish.
Right.
But on those days, it's not as hard for me. Like, I don't feel the desire to quit very often. Not like Rehoboth Beach. That was a mental breakdown where I just mentally broke. My body was tired. It's the training is where I want to. Some days I just don't have it. My legs are tired, or mentally I'm tired. Work might be challenging or whatever, and you have to go get that train run. You just do not want to go out. At the end of the training, you feel good, but during it, it's like, oh, this hurts. And I think of all those people, Melissa, that are unable to go out and do a training run themselves.
Right.
And I'll go back to my time back in Iraq in 03 and 04. We had a mortar attack, and this gal had got a piece of shrapnel hit her inner hip muscle, up by her hip.
Yeah.
Remember, she was on the stretcher, and she goes, am I ever going to be able to walk again? And, my eyes were just like huge, like saucers, and, think we are docs and everything. We're getting ready, prep to get on the chopper and stuff. But I think of her, I don't know what her journey, where she's at in life or anything like that, because I leave the camp, you never see them again.
Yeah.
But I always thought, like, I have the ability to run. It's not going to be fast, but if I want to quit, that's an example of, I think of her, or I think of somebody that may be an amputee, or, and it's not only that, I also think of the people that have PTSD to such a degree where they're so focused on just trying to handle the mind.
Right.
Have the capacity to go out and do a walk or a run or something, because they're fighting the demons of the past.
Right.
So when I want to quit, I think about the people that have situations much worse than me.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jake, you can suck it up and you can do this run and do this finish training. That's what drives me, because I make no secret about, Melissa, I have some PTSD, and my VA counselor has been a blessing to me. And she was a runner too. And when she started realizing what I was doing, like when I get home from Rockford, Illinois on the 16th, I will have my next one scheduled, because she goes, you have to have a purpose, Jake. And she goes, it's helping you mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So like she, it's outside of the counseling realm per se, but she knows it gives me purpose. And I've like literally by the 16th, I'm already looking where my next one's going to be. But I will probably likely know where I'm headed.
Right. So, I was going to say, I think that's for those who are capable. First off, running is free. And so for mental and physical health, especially those of us who may suffer from certain conditions, and you're capable of running, I think that is a great exercise to maybe start off with, even walking, any exercise, because I mean, how has it helped your mental and physical health and fitness?
For the mental, I've been able to get off most of the medications I was taking for my PTSD. In fact, I'm off all of them actually. Right now.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, it is a great blessing because anytime you take a medication, the side effects of it, the grogginess for me the next day, I struggle to sleep. When I wake up with a vivid situation during the night, there's a couple that generally come to me. I can't go back to sleep. Well, then the next day I'm just exhausted. So the medication would help me get back to sleep. Well, even that, the way it affects me, I'm just groggy the next day.
Right.
So getting off that is a blessing. Physically, the other medications that, like, I have blood pressure. I'm on blood pressure medication. I take such a minimal dose now, Melissa, versus where I was before I started running again. But I think you get a lot of, just from the running, I get the my blood gets rolling. I think clearer. I feel like I'm a happier person. You know what I mean? Like, like I like to have fun. I like to smile, I like to laugh. And, I'll be running sometimes and I want to, might have felt like crying, but I just start laughing because the situation just sometimes you just got to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And try to have a very positive outlook on life.
Absolutely. So. That is wonderful. So now tell me, what has your journey taught you about like discipline and patriotism and, just about yourself?
Yeah, the journey is don't give up, ever give up. And I think, as many veterans probably listen to this, and probably many people in the community, they have challenges, PTSD, or, we have 22 a day, veterans, but how many Americans are we losing to suicide or, mental health? So for me, I'm like, we all have challenges in our lives, and if we address those challenges, we'll be better off. Yeah. So that's what inspires me to people say, how do you do this? You know what? It's one step at a time. It's one forward step. And that's, it doesn't have to, you don't climb a mountain in one step.
Right.
So that's kind of how that has inspired me.
That is wonderful. All right. So the last question, and then I'm going to switch topics. So when you just imagine when you cross that 50th line, you're at your 50th state. What do you believe? Like, what do you think that moment what will that mean to you? What will that feel like?
It will be, I think it's going to be very emotional. There'll be some tears, I think, of happiness, relief that I finished it because it's a big challenge. But I don't think it ends there. I'm going to build from that, and hopefully I can take it back to, hey, this is what I did. You can do this too. It may not be all half marathons. Maybe people can only physically do 2 miles or 5 miles, a walk or a run or whatever. But maybe they want to see all 50 states like I do too. Right. Well, start scheduling it around a 2-mile event and get the check marks like I did, because I mean, when I started looking at a 50 goal and I started with number 1, as a numbers guy, that's not a very big percentage. But when I hit 20, I'm like, I'm 40% done. And now my goal, if finances allow, my health allows, and everything, I want to have 26 states that be done by the end of 26. And it's, again, I'm a numbers guy, percentage. I'll be 50% done. So, yeah, and then I'm going to go back and do those states that I'm not very happy with my finish. Like, with Beach should have been an easy one. It wasn't. And then I do want to try to do a full marathon sometime, just because I see those people that do it, and I just like, I'm in awe of them, how they do that, because the training that takes is amazing. And then I will probably try to do like a 100-miler sometime or something ridiculous. Wow. And just to see how far I get. Like, I would love to finish it. I mean, but I don't know. By the time I get this 50-state journey done, if I'm going to be, I'm going to be 52 this summer. I might be 60. Is it realistic to go out and try one of these big, long 100-miler runs? I mean, but, at least.
I bet if you looked at the numbers of the people in that age group, you'd probably be surprised by the number of people who actually do.
Oh, I get humbled every time I'm at an event. These people that are probably 10, 15, 20 years older, as they go by me on the road, I'm like, wow, I hope that's me someday. Might be a little slower than they are, but hey.
That is hilarious. All right, so I'm looking at your background. It looks kind of like my background, like a hotel background. So where are you and what are you doing?
I'm glad you asked. I am in a hotel room just like you. A few hours later, I'm in Reno, Nevada at the National VFW Conference. As fellow veterans and spouses, this is a great event. Was asked to come here to be at the booth I'm with Loan Depot on the military lending team, and as the reverse guy. So I'm here at the booth. We're right across from the registration table. So if anybody that's here at the event, stop by, say hi. But it's a great event. And I was just telling Melissa, it's going to be in Milwaukee next year. So for those of us that are in the Midwest, good reason to get there. A lot of first timers here this year, Melissa. I've seen many, like you wear like a name badge and it'll have first timer below it. And I've seen so many first timers here. So that's really exciting to see the VFW. A lot of people are looking at starting to attend this.
That is great. So now, you're with you say Loan Depot. So let's talk a little bit about reverse mortgages. I just want to touch on it for the audience. It's because it's what you do. It's your career path. What is a reverse mortgage?
A reverse mortgage is designed for seniors who want to stay in their home. And generally, I'm paying off an existing mortgage, so it helps their cash flow. The vast percentage of seniors are running on tight incomes. So, their income streams have not kept up with the cost of expenses and everything else going on. So their quality of life is impacted. So most of the time I'm paying off the existing mortgage, which, you get rid of the principal and interest payment, because on a reverse, you don't have a payment as long as you live there. You still have to pay your taxes and insurance. But I mean, if you have $1,000 principal and interest payment and we're able to pay that off, it's like your Social Security or your military retirement check just went up by $1,000. I mean, that's the difference it makes in people's lives. And then the other people don't have a mortgage. They own their home free and clear, but things are tight. They want to do things in retirement, like travel, like see the world. Right. They want to go do a 2-mile event in all 50 states, but they can't afford it. Now they can. You know what I mean? I get it. Here, but it just helps make their quality of life better. And I think that's the thing I see too much in my demographic that I'm dealing with. Financial stress is probably one of the biggest things that we don't talk about. And financial stress impacts you mentally, physically, emotionally. If you're worried about paying your bills, which that age group really does, it overtakes their life. They're thinking about it all the time. Yeah. If we can make it a little easier for them, that's my goal.
And I know, I think last time we talked about, people hear reverse mortgage and it's like, oh, but what's one of the largest myths that you wish people would just stop believing about reverse mortgage?
That if you do a reverse, you lose your home. You don't own it anymore. Title stays in your name just like any other mortgage. And I understand where that myth comes from because before Reagan brought this program together, literally people did a reverse and it might be a 5-year term contract. Well, at the end of the 5 years, you sign that contract, and now that investor who might, somebody had money, lent you some money, at the end of that 5-year term, that term was up. Well, you weren't ready to leave your home, but the contract you signed is over. So now people felt like they were getting kicked out of their homes. And I understand that. I mean, nobody wants to leave their home.
Right.
The biggest challenge the biggest issue I see today where people are getting removed from their homes or kicked out of their homes, what you hear on media, is that people don't pay their property taxes and insurance. And that's one of the biggest challenges in the reverse. You have to pay the property tax and insurance. Otherwise you go in default, just like a person on a 30-year mortgage. If you don't make your payments, you go in default. In the reverse, one of the requirements, you got to pay your property taxes and insurance. And that's what gets people in trouble. They overlook it. They decide, well, I'll pay it up in 6 months because I'm helping a family member out or whatever. And then, their cash flow doesn't allow them to catch it back up. And the servicers will work with them, but, FHA has guidelines.
Right. Absolutely. That must be followed. So you're doing that. You're helping veterans now with reverse mortgages. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So I help any senior homeowner who wants a reverse, but just as part of the veteran team here at Loan Depot, I help a lot of veterans. Back in 2017, I just did a very informal survey. I have an Excel sheet where I track all my people that I talk to. And in a 6-month period, over half my business was a veteran or a surviving spouse that was inquiring about a reverse mortgage. So the need is great. My goal is to help everybody in the situation that they're in. And if the reverse is a great fit, awesome. I want to help you. But there's many times where, just based on my past experience in banking, from my collections experience to everything, I can give people suggestions at least on ways to hopefully make their life better if the reverse isn't the right fit.
So it's not just reverse. There might be other things out there that can assist them to help them with their financial needs. So I absolutely love that. All right, Jake, I just want to say thank you for being on Shero Coffee Chat. I am going to let you say whatever it is. Oh, but before we do that, I want to give a shout out. I want to get a shout out. Yes, the VFW National Convention is going on right now, and you can visit Jake down at the convention. Is it the exhibit area?
Yep, it's at the Reno Convention Center.
Yep.
We're right across from the VFW registration table.
Oh, wonderful.
The Loan Depot booth is right there. Yeah, it's been a great time. We've met so many great people here. Yesterday was a full day, and then we get started again today.
Awesome. I want to give a shout out to Loan Depot. Thank you for what you do. I also want to give a salute to our VFW leader, Ms. Carol Whitmore. Thank you for leading the charge for the VFW. Also, I want to shout out my commander, VFW Post 311, Aretha Spurlock. I absolutely love everything that we are doing at the VFW, and I am a lifetime member of the VFW. So yes, we're doing great things there. I'm so excited that we will be in Milwaukee next year. I'm so excited about that. So I plan to be there. It is my plan to be there. So what I'm going to do now, Jake, is I'm going to pull myself outside of the screen. You can say whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart. You guys, 50 states, 13.1 miles, one flag. Jake is an awesome American and a wonderful patriot. So Jake, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Melissa, thank you so very, very much for having me on again. I really greatly appreciate it. To everybody watching this, I hope this was motivating for you. And whatever your journey that you're on, take that step forward. If you have questions about a reverse, or a neighbor that may need it, could benefit from it, just reach out, have a conversation with me, no pressure. My goal is to help people where they're at. So if I can ever be a resource for you or a loved one, That's my goal. So with that, make it a great day and let's keep moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jake. And remember, you guys, I just want to say, thank you for sharing this time with us. These conversations matter. Staying informed helps us really see clearly when, being inspired challenges us to grow. And then staying connected reminds us that we don't have to travel on this journey alone. Until next time, you guys. We've got coffee for the grind and tea for the pause at Shero Coffee Club. And we will see you next week on Shero Coffee Chat. Thank you for being a part of this today and have a good one.
Hey there, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this week's Shero Coffee Chat. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button so you never miss what's coming next. And hey, make sure your weekday begins with Shero Coffee, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. You can visit us at sherocoffee.com. We'll see you next week right here on Shero Coffee Chat and have a blessed week.